start in the community of Newtown, Connecticut. There were 4 more funerals today for some of the young victims of last week's massacre. All of you already know this story and know it all too well. 26 people murdered, 20 of them children, after a gunman opened fire at Sandy Hook Elementary School. This was last Friday. The gunman later took his own life. Now, President Obama visited Newtown over the weekend and said something that really stood out to a lot of us. Listen to this.
We can't tolerate this anymore. These tragedies must end. And to end them, we must change. Are we really prepared to say that we're powerless in the face of such carnage? Are we prepared to say that such violence visited on our children year after year after year is somehow the price of our freedom?
In the wake of the tragedy, there's been, as always happens after many of these tragedies, a resurgence in the debate over our gun laws.
Ban assault weapons, to try and reinstate the assault weapons ban.
Nobody questions the Second Amendment's right to bear arms, but I don't think the Founding Fathers had the idea that every man, woman, and child could carry an assault weapon.
As you'll hear the gun lobby say, if you pass gun laws, only criminals will be able to get their hands on guns. This is exactly the opposite of that.
Several politicians say they are now ready to consider restricting assault weapons, and that is the subject of tonight's year-end breakdown. All right, 26 and 7-year-old kids gunned down in their classrooms with an assault rifle. Oh, so now we're ready to seriously address guns and gun control. Oh, now we're ready to address the root causes of gun violence. Now, no doubt, this is what we should be doing right now. But I have to admit, folks, I'm angry. And I'm a bit heartbroken that this is what it took for us to get serious. We weren't ready to get serious and take action after that one week in November when 8 teenagers were shot in Detroit. Or in August when 4 teenagers were shot at a playground in Brooklyn. Or in July when a 4-year-old was shot and killed in the Bronx. Or in January when 3 teenagers were shot and killed in Philadelphia. Or in September when an 18-year-old and 2 others were shot and killed in East St. Louis. Or we weren't ready to get serious in July when a 15-year-old boy was shot and killed in Oakland. And we weren't serious after we knew that 102 kids under the age of 20 were murdered in Chicago this year. Now, President Obama said something else in his Newtown speech that stood out to me, and I quote, "This is our first task, caring for our children. It's our job. If we don't get that right, we don't get anything right. That's how, as a society, we will be judged," end quote. Are we doing a good job? Maybe if we had given more of a damn about those babies being killed in the streets, we could reduce the chances of our babies being killed in the classrooms. That is tonight's breakdown. Now, many people are looking for answers in this tragedy right now. They're trying to find out who we should blame. Is it the gun laws? Is it how we deal with mental illness? Is it a moral or religious failing in our society? We're going to go a little deeper with this in our panel a little later, but next we want to touch on some stories that didn't quite make it to our national conversation in 2012.